Welcome to Conversations with Casey, where we sit down with people who are making a difference in their communities and beyond. Together, we'll have honest conversations about leadership, hope, prevention, and the moments that inspire meaningful change. Because sometimes one conversation has the power to change a life. I'm Casey Kuckert, and I'm glad you're here. Welcome to Conversations with Casey. You'll remember on our last episode, I sat down and had a conversation with Justin Bradshaw, the founder of A New Dawn, and we talked all about creating awareness around mental health and domestic violence in honor of his daughter Macy's legacy. It was a really powerful conversation, and we got such good feedback from it. I hope to have him back again soon. Today, though, we're going to take a little bit of a different shift and turn, and I'm super excited to announce my guest is not only the one and only my husband, Bill Kuckert. Bill Kuckert, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Casey. Excited to be here and a little nervous. I think kind of like some race day nerves, but yeah, once we get going, it's going to be good.
Yeah, like I was saying before, we totally got this. Just follow my lead. We'll be okay. We'll get it done today. We thought, though, we're really excited to talk about community and the impact of community and some of the things that we've experienced this year. And we wanted to talk about just kind of giving a recap from January to we're now almost the end of July, and we have had a really powerful year. So just to kind of fast forward over the past 6 months, we rolled into Lake Havasu, Arizona. We're in Wyoming. So our thought was we're going to try out snowbirding in Lake Havasu, right? So we roll into Lake Havasu City, Arizona on Christmas Eve last year. And our plan was we're going to, plug into the community and try it out a little bit and, see how we like it. We're going to snowbird there for a couple of months and also work on growing our insurance agency in Arizona. So we got our licenses and our appointments, and Bill's been doing a great job of diving into Quote Hub and growing that. But we were just going to stay a couple months. And now, fast forward to July, we just put our house on the market in Wyoming. We're looking to sell, and we're looking to make Havasu one of our permanent homes. And it's just been a wild and crazy ride. And I think probably you can answer this, Bill, because we always get this question, why Lake Havasu? So tell the audience why Lake Havasu.
So Lake Havasu, it's always been a part of my life ever since I started jet skiing. So yeah, back in '91, bought my first jet ski with graduation money, and then it quickly escalated into racing, like a regional circuit and stuff. Jet skiing was still fairly new at the time and stuff like that. But anyhow, I ended up taking first place in my region, which awarded me an invitation to the World Finals down there in Lake Havasu. And so that was a '92, and yeah, I've just always been fascinated with Lake Havasu since then.
Yeah, and I had never been before, and so I remember we got together, we got married, and now that was one of our favorite vacation spots. We took the kids there, and we'd go there, on vacation. And then what year was it that we went and watched the World Finals together?
So yeah, that was 2017. We ended up, it was still a pretty cool experience and stuff. Not as big as it was back in the early '90s, but it was a great experience.
Yeah, so 2017, we went down there. That was my first World Finals experience. And I remember, who were you watching?
So we ended up, the freestyle, Lee Stone, he ended up pulling off the first double backflip and stuff, so that was cool to witness. Mark Gomez, he ended up winning the overall world championship in freestyle, and also the ski that I'm racing today, they had it as available for rides to the public and stuff like that. So I was able to jump on that ski and take it for a ride. And what I thought back then, it was a lot of a ski to handle compared to the two strokes that I used to ride. But yeah, that got left there for a while, but it's always in the back of my mind to get back into racing.
Yeah, and so it's like, so that happened in 2017, and then just a few years ago, they opened the Masters division, right? Which, can I just say how much better my jet ski knowledge has become this whole year? Like, I can talk about custom parts now. I can talk about all of the motor things. But anyways, so you kind of got back into racing just a few years ago, and now we're leading into what, your third world final, right?
Yes, be my third year back. Back in the 90s, I did 92, 93, 94, and 95. So I did 4 years of racing and then took a 30-year hiatus and then, back in it.
Yeah. So we're excited for World Finals coming up, and we also wanted to. So we've been, Bill's been practicing and plugging into the jet ski community, and then we've been working remotely, which has been, I've been working remote for the past 5 years, and Bill just transitioned like the end of last year, and so we've both been working remotely and growing our insurance agency. And we've really loved working at, let's give a shout out to Jillian at Nomadic, because that has been, so it's a co-working center there in Lake Havasu. And it has been such the coolest experience to work in that co-working center and be surrounded by other entrepreneurs. And Jillian has really done a great job. She manages the center, and she's plugged us in to the chamber and to the downtown district. And they do so many cool, like I've been a part of a bunch of different, chambers throughout my career, and like this one in Havasu, it is so active, it's so engaging, so supportive. So it's just been really fun to be plugged in at co-working. And you get to tell everybody about the cool little workshop center they have in the back of Nomadic.
Yes, I mean, they had a print room, a 3D printer and stuff, and these laser cut machines, and so yeah, I kind of just had some fun with that and was able to make some little 3D jet skis and stuff. Just had some extra fun there. It was definitely a nice setup.
Yeah, he made 3D jet skis for all 7 of the grandkids, and we gave them to the grandkids. So
big hit.
Yeah. So anyways, okay, so what this episode is truly about, though, is community and how really community can change like your whole journey. So we wanted to start to talk about Team Goatcher, Harry and Cori Goatcher. They have been a huge part of really getting us plugged into Havasu and making it feel like, we are supported and we have family around us and community. And I remember that, well, first of all, let's tell everybody, like, how did you meet Harry Goatcher? How did you meet him for the first time?
So Harry, I mean, I always knew him from the early 90s and stuff like that. He was a top pro rider back then. I never formally met him. But so my first year back racing in the Masters division, show up to my first race, in the riders meeting and stuff. I kind of spotted him and stuff. I was like, oh, holy cow, that's a Harry Goatcher and stuff. That's that top pro from the early 90s that I always followed and stuff like that. And anyhow, the race day starts and I'm getting ready to go practice and stuff like that. And I'm walking my ski down to the line, and Harry there, he's got his team pit set up and stuff like that, and I'm walking past his pit, and he kind of spots me like I'm looking like a deer in the headlights and stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, this was like our first World Finals from 30 years, so it's like we didn't really know the setup, or like what we're supposed to be doing. Like we show up and like Bill doesn't have a mechanic there or even a holder. Our pit's down at the very end, because it's like we didn't even really know any of the setup. And so yeah, here's Bill walking his jet ski, just trying to like figure out like what to do.
Yeah, but I mean, he gives me a nice warm welcome, like, hey, what's going on? Comes down, talks to me for a minute and stuff like that, and told him the situation. He's like, man, you just pull your ski right up here. You're pitting with us, just a real good warm welcome, and then just guiding me and tips and pointers all after that, after all the races and stuff. I mean, it was a kind of a eye-opening experience and stuff like that, because stepping away from the sport for 30 years when it used to be like a rubber band start, switch, and then switched over to the lights and the horns and stuff like that. So it was just a little bit of getting used to, but I mean, he definitely helped me through all that.
Yeah, and he's such, a great guy. I remember, well, I didn't even know who he was, but I remember that after the race, we were loading up and getting ready to pull the ski out of the water. And I, out of the corner of my eye, see someone kind of like flying over. And now I know it was Harry. And it was like, oh my God, you got the whole shot. You got the whole shot. So that's how I remember him, is just like him flying over, like to congratulate you because, you know, you got a whole shot on one of your first races back.
Yeah, it was that was pretty exciting, but the competition was pretty stiff, and I wasn't able to hold it, but I've been coming a long way since with being part of this team.
Yeah, yeah. And we'll get into the team in a little bit too, because we want to dive deeper in that, because that's what, you know, this whole conversation is about. But I'd love for you to share too, like a little bit of, so Harry's wife's name is Cori, and she has like deep roots in the history of the sport too. So talk a little bit about like their history, you know, before they met each other, and then maybe how they met each other, because I think that that's so cool. And then just kind of like their journey of the sport.
Okay. So yeah, Team Goatcher, I guess it's been around about 5 years and stuff like that. So Cori, you know, Harry's wife, knew of him back in the day. She was a little bit younger than him. I don't know, 5, 6 years younger than him and stuff like that. But it sounded like she had a little crush on him and stuff. And then her mom and dad, that dad was pioneered, you know, the sport of jet skiing and stuff like that. I think he's part of Kawasaki and all that. So it was Harry being that professional rider and stuff. So many years later, they kind of, you know, bump into each other, and then they, you know, hit it off and end up back in Havasu and stuff like that, and just made a real big impact in the jet ski community and stuff. And
Yeah, I think that's so good. And I think that that's what makes them like such a power couple, especially in the sport, is because, you know, they both have a long history in the sport, and then, you know, grew in it together, and then got together. And now like that's what I love, is that it's not just about racing for them. It's more about like leaving a legacy for, you know, new riders coming in and really helping to protect the sport and, you know, get the sport back to what it used to be and all of those things. Like, it's not just about racing. And they do so much on the back end, behind the scenes. Like, I can't believe the stuff that they do to, you know, set up those pits and make everything nice. They have, you know, Amigos Tacos there for lunch for all the racers. Like, they do so much work on the back end.
Tons, yep.
Yeah, so let's kind of transition into, because Team Goatcher, like, it's been, you know, like every organization, it's kind of a journey, and you kind of like get in and be like, okay, we know that there's something powerful here, and we want to build it into something. We're not sure what to do yet or how to do that, but you know, we want to dive in. And so it's been a cool transformation to see just within the past few months, really, about Team Goatcher and what they're kind of like leaning into, and the impact that they're wanting to make, which is all about, you know, supporting the sport and protecting the sport and moving it forward. So what excites you about Team Goatcher this next season?
It's the vision. I mean, I love what the team's all about, and does feel like a family, and just bringing in all these young riders and stuff like that, and just keeping all the values and of this in this sport alive. It's yeah, we pull together as a team, and yeah, just the practice together, and it's just a very, very good setup.
Yeah, and just being part of that community. And so this year, we're excited that Bill and I will be part of like really helping, I would say, like move their team forward into a more formal team. And we put together some programs with Harry and Cori, and also the Billings. The Billings have played a major role in this, of getting some brand partners together and really, you know, turning this into a race team that is, you know, full-blown race team with all the things. They've got so many exciting plans. And we wanted to, so Bill and I, through Quote Hub Insurance, our insurance agency, this past season, we announced the Quote Hub Athlete Program, which was a really fun process. Didn't you love doing that?
Oh, it's so fun. Yes.
Yeah, and so we had the racers would apply to be able to get a $250, sponsorship for their season. So we got to go through all these different race forms and pick out some athletes to sponsor for our Quote Hub athlete. But we have kind of a little fun announcement and a twist to this year's sponsorship with Quote Hub. So this year, since Team Goatcher is launching to become an official race team, we wanted to transition our Quote Hub athlete program over into Team Goatcher and be one of the first brand partners for 2027. So we are excited to announce that we will be sponsoring all of our athlete funds into Team Goatcher so they can kick off their season. And, we just love the whole, theory of this show is really making an impact in your communities and supporting those who are doing it, no matter what they're doing or what community they're a part of. And the Goatchers are definitely making an impact in the sport in their local community in Lake Havasu. They're creating waves across the country, which I'll let you talk a little bit about Australia.
Somebody reached out to Harry and stuff like that from Australia, and had an opportunity for some team members to actually go over there and race, that they actually provide the skis and stuff like that, which is a very awesome opportunity. So yeah, just some cool opportunities like that come along that, you just don't always get a opportunity to do, and sounds like an awesome venue. And so we're trying to get some people together to go over there and participate in that.
Yeah, and I think that just talks to the fact that it's like even people over in Australia is noticing Team Goatcher and the ethics that the team has, and how you hear this all the time. Like at every race, you'll hear, "Thank you, Team Goatcher, for helping, tear down the tents or set up this," or, for helping, especially Hunter Burks. Let's give a shout out to Hunter Burks. He's always helping. He's the first one there, the last one to leave. So it's just really cool, the riders that are part of Team Goatcher and with Harry and Cori being the lead of this and the ethics they're instilling, and that it's being noticed locally, but also in Australia. I think that's just so cool.
Yes.
And that we love being part of that. So we are here today to officially announce that we want to be one of the first brand partners for Team Goatcher for the 2027 season. And we're excited to grow with the team and to keep getting plugged in. And like I said, I don't know. Maybe, I'm sure that maybe we would have done okay, going there by ourselves and, not knowing anyone. But now I think this just catapulted everything, that it's we pulled into town and immediately Goatcher is reaching out "Hey, we're down at Body Beach, come down to Body Beach." And, they've been a huge, just part of our journey this year. And so we want to give back and we want to help them grow. And we are super excited for this next season.
Totally. Yes.
Okay, so let's end with, by the way, good job, Bill. You've done great during the interview. I told him we keep it short and sweet today because this is not his favorite thing to do, but he was in because he wanted to support, Team Goatcher. So do you want to end with a rapid fire?
Sure.
These are super. So these are just a few quick questions. So just answer with the first thing that comes to mind.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, got it? Okay, let me get my notes here. So what is your favorite race memory?
Favorite race memory would have to be the 92 World Finals. I mean, just going down there, just coming from a small town and just stepping on such a big stage. I mean, that's when 60,000 people were just flowing through there at the World Finals. It was big.
Yeah, that is cool, especially from, like you said, coming from such a small area to 60,000 fans and Havasu and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. By the way, how'd you do?
That one, cause it was combined with slalom and closed course racing, but my slalom time was super good because, I mean, there was 60 experts from around the world, and I think I ended up 24th, the combined overall was 24th with my closed course racing and the slalom time, but the slalom time is what brought me down 24th out of 60th.
Nice. And you're moving up the podium because this past World Finals, you're third, you're on the podium.
Yep, and a class of my own, 50 and older and stuff, so it's nice that you don't have to compete against all the younger kids and stuff. So
yeah, on those fast skis, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, second question. Favorite place that we've traveled together?
I would have to say Australia. I mean, that was always on the the bucket list and stuff like that. And with you winning that trip back in your insurance days, that was a trip of a lifetime.
Yeah, that was so cool. I can't believe that, we were in Australia and you did, well, we had like this private concert in the Sydney Opera House, which was like amazing. I can't even believe that we were sitting there doing that. And then you also dived the Great Barrier Reef.
Yes, that was a huge on the bucket list for diving. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay, one word to describe Team Goatcher.
family. I mean, just tight knit group and feels like family.
Yeah, so agree, so agree. Your dream race location.
Since we was talking about Australia and just that opportunity over there, I mean, we definitely got our eyes set on it. So maybe that will become a reality.
Wow. And wouldn't that be full circle? Like before we went there because of insurance, my insurance days, and then we go back and it's because of racing.
Yeah, that'd be something.
Okay, love that. We got to make that happen. Okay, last thing. What is the one thing that you're most excited about this year?
The vision of us just sitting down as a team and stuff like that, that last meeting that we had, and the big vision and just putting it all together.
Yeah, I so agree. Yeah, I'm just excited to stay, to keep growing together, to building together, and to plugging in, Quote Hub more, and to Team Goatcher, and definitely making an impact locally and, across the world. So I think we're onto a good thing.
I do too. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. This is fun. Been a great journey.
Well, good job today. I'm proud of you for coming in here and doing it. I know you didn't want to do it, but I'm proud of you.
Well, thanks for having me. And yeah, we'll be doing more.
Okay, that is another episode of Conversations with Casey. We'll see you next time. And until then, make sure that you're getting out and making an impact in your community. So let's talk about a little bit about just being partners in business together, because, I guess there is quite a few, but in our circle, we're kind of, pretty limited with as far as like husbands and wives being in business together. But let's just talk a little bit about that journey, because, I just remember when I opened my insurance agency back in 2003, we had just gotten together. So I was like breaking you in really, really well, because it's like, hey, I know we're just dating, but can you like help me set up this business? So let's talk a little bit about just our journey of business together and supporting each other in our different businesses and stuff. And
Okay.
Do you remember that back in 2003?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you ended up that opportunity to open up an agency 75 miles down the road in Evanston. So, yeah, 6 months into our relationship, we're testing it out, a long-distance relationship 75 miles down the road. But, yeah, definitely remember hauling you down there, all your stuff, U-Haul, and getting you all set up in the building, getting it just fixed up for the insurance business you was taking over. And
Yeah, I mean, because it was like an empty office. So I remember having to like put the desk together. You were helping put the desk together and setting that up and driving the U-Haul over and hooking up like the printers and all of that kind of stuff. So it's like our business journey really does go back to the day of, opening up the first insurance agency. And then it's like, I opened the first insurance agency, and then we expanded, and I bought a book in Green River, which is another 75 miles back down I-80. So, I mean, you were a huge part of helping, open that agency, and we ended up putting that in your mom's commercial building. So we kind of like flipped the commercial building to get that ready.
yep, actually I had to remodel that just for an office space there in Suite B and stuff. But it proved to be, I mean, yeah, he was going down the right road, growing like crazy. And
Yeah, and tell the audience too, like because remember Suite B when we started it in the back, what did that used to be?
it was a body shop. My dad built it in '72, and it was a body shop. So yeah, I was taking up some of the spray booth. I guess that's where the spray booth would have been. And
Yeah, because I remember. And the office, it turned out amazing, but I remember, just imagine an auto body shop and, spray booth, and then we're flipping that into a professional office. I just remember the amounts of grease that we were having to wipe out of there and stuff because it was a body shop. But yeah, doing that. And then third agency, we built our own commercial building, which we still have today. And so I remember that journey of, building the commercial building and getting that ready. And you did like a lot of the plumbing and stuff and setting up. Remember the big water fountain that we set up outside?
We always had fun with those, just water features and stuff on all our properties and stuff. I think that's one of the things we enjoy the most.
Yeah, it was funny because I was telling somebody that the other day because they see us like working together, like doing like remodel projects and stuff. Oh, it was our house. We're doing our house together to get it ready to sell. And she's like, I can never do that with my husband. How do you do that? And it's like, actually, I think that me and Bill do better. We thrive more in projects together than when we're not doing projects together. So I think that that's kind of like what's, helped us grow and helps us get along so well, is that we're always doing a project together.
And if we're not, we're looking for one.
Yeah, which is exactly what we're doing today. Hint, hint. We're looking for projects down in Havasu. But I just remember. So it's like this is going to lead into your race career. So it's like, build a commercial building, build all the insurance agencies, sell the insurance agencies, and now I'm really getting into, coaching and marketing and creating She Leads, my women's community. And okay, this is going to dip into like the start of your racing journey again, is that I remember I did my first summit, my She Leads summit, my first one in Denver, Colorado. And of course you came there with me because you were hauling, because we drove, so you're hauling all the stuff and helping me set it up and stuff. And little did I know, during the summit, you're out jet ski shopping at one of the local dealers there in Denver, Colorado, because the ski was hard to find or rare or something at that time, right?
The ski, it is hard to find. I mean, I was looking all over for it, and I was like, wow, they got one down there in Denver. So, I mean, it really got me thinking. And, once I put my eyes on it, it was hard to stop thinking about it.
Yeah. So I finished the summit. We head home. The very next weekend, we drive back down to Denver to pick up the Kawasaki, which we're racing today, 1500. And then I remember too, like we bought the jet ski, we hauled it all the way back to Wyoming. And then like this was the night we got home. So we had bought it, drove all the way home, which is a 6-hour drive. I remember that night in the garage, I'm hearing this noise. I'm like, what the heck's he doing out there? I go out there, and this is like, keep in mind, this is a brand new jet ski. So I'm thinking, okay, one and done, you buy the jet ski, you're done. Oh no, I was so green to this sport. He is out there. I open the door, and he's out there with a drill, drilling holes in the bottom of the jet ski. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? This is a brand new jet ski. So tell everybody what you were doing to it.
So I just picked it up in July. My first race was in August, and I had to get it race ready. I had to be ready physically for the race and have the machine, all hopped up to be able to hang with all the other skis out there. And so I was putting in a water bypass kit, bought a bilge kit, just in ordering all the upgrades that were spent the next month.
So that was a surprise to me because I don't think that was part of the conversation. I think the conversation was, let's get the ski. I didn't know that it's like, oh, and then we're going to modify it because like modifying all the things is part of it. So Now I know, and it's all part of the journey. And I'm just, some days I just think it's like, wow, we've came a long way.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's been a great ride. And for all those, power couples out there that are building businesses together, keep going and keep growing. And it's all worth it in the end. And I don't think I'd trade anything.
Me neither. It's been fun.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Conversations with Casey. If today's conversation inspired you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Together, we can create more hope, encourage kindness, and continue the conversations that lead to lasting change. Until next time, keep leading with purpose.